Well, hello there. So it's been a while since it's been a while since I've done like a pre-recorded video where I have to edit and stuff like that, because usually the last few times I uploaded on this channel, it was, my Instagram lives. But, I wanted to come on here and have a conversation with you ladies, because and this is of course inspired by the whole Tinder Swindler thing. Yes, I know I'm late to the bandwagon. I could have jumped on it sooner, but you see, the thing is, I don't want to attract the wrong crowd on here. Okay, so I prefer to, be late than to be too early. And, a lot of people are searching that because, that's what people were searching. People were searching the Tinder Swindler last week, all of last week. I watched the show and we discussed it on the Patreon. If you're interested, the link is below. You can join. You can sign up for as little as $5 a month. Once you sign up, you will have access to 2 years worth of content, and I'm still putting out content on there, baby. I shared my views on there and basically how I felt about the whole, Tinder Swindler thing. There was so many rules that poor girl broke. There were so many rules, and of course they don't know it. But it amazes me because and when I say rules, I'm referring to the rules, like from the book called The Rules. And the reason why I'm mentioning this book is because, well, I feel like every woman who is dating, and especially if her goal is long-term relationship or marriage, even if it's not a hypergamous relationship, okay, it could be a vanilla relationship for all I care. It could be a regular ass relationship. So any woman that is dating and that's her goal, I feel like she should read that book, because our parents didn't have to go through what we go through. People back then knew how to act, for lack of a better term. But the thing is, I feel like it's basically the rules are basically what your parents should have told you, so that you can prepare yourself in this dating world, because it's the ghetto out here. All right, it's the ghetto. When I saw those girls were going on coffee dates with a guy that is supposed to be a billionaire, I was a little bit concerned, because I'm like, your standards should be the same. Well, I don't know if those girls have standards, because I think those girls are used to going on coffee dates. So, going on a coffee date with a guy who's a billionaire, they may think it's normal. I don't think it is. But, regardless, I feel like, because us women in this community, we say no to coffee dates, and the reason why we say no is because coffee dates are low effort dates. If men are asking you out for coffee, it means two things. It means he's either seeing multiple women, he's seen a lot of women, and there's nothing wrong with that, or two, he is not trying to impress you and he doesn't care, and he's just trying to see what he can get with you for the least amount of investment possible. And again, nothing is wrong with that either. It's up to you to decide if that's what you want. And most women don't want to be manipulated and used, obviously. But if you're okay with the coffee dates or whatnot, I'm not talking to you. All right. But again, if your goal is marriage, especially for women that want to start a family, and maybe you're looking for a guy who is a good provider, who can provide for you and your offsprings, I don't think you should just be going on any old random coffee date. I don't care how much money that guy has. I wouldn't do it. All right. So that was one of the red flags that I saw, because I'm like, oh yeah, here we go again, one of these low effort dates. I mean, I made a video here sometime last year. Was it last year with this girl? She went on a date and she went hiking on the first date and she died. So I think the lesson here is that these low effort dates will kill you, or it will plunge you in death. Whatever, it will not end well. I've never been on a coffee date in my life, because I've never accepted a coffee date. And the only place I was asked on a coffee date was on the internet. from my experience, when I meet guys in real life, they ask me out on a regular date, like dinner and conversation, and you might have a couple glasses of wine, you know, something relaxing, you know. So obviously, I'm not gonna go into all the rules here with you today, but I remember when we read that book in the book club, I remember one of the rules being never accept last minute dates. So not only did the girls accept a coffee date, the date was so last minute, and the way he approached her, you know, okay. If I get a message from a guy and he's like, "Hey, I'm leaving London tomorrow. Let's meet up." I would not meet someone like that because it's way too last minute for me. Because if you're leaving, and that's basically one of the texts that he sent the first girl that was talking. I can't remember what happened between him and the other girl, but I remember she was saying that, you know, he sent her a message and he's like, "Hey, I'm leaving London tomorrow, let's meet up." And she met him up for coffee on the same day, and maybe it was just a few hours before him departing on that date, after that date. So for me, that's a red flag for me, because I'm going to be like, well, if you are leaving tomorrow, which is just a few hours, but you want to meet up with me, why do you want to meet up with me? Because you're leaving. It tells me that you don't have time to get to know me. So I don't think I want to waste my time meeting. I don't think I want to waste my time meeting someone that doesn't have time for me, that doesn't have time to get to know me. I would assume that he's expecting a booty call, and I'm not the booty call type of girl, you know. Some girls are into that, but you know, I'm not that type of girl, and I hope that you aren't either. So I was like, yeah, I would have, you know, politely declined that invitation. And yeah, so, and on top of that, it's a last minute date. I don't care who this guy is. I don't accept last minute dates. I never did. It's not my thing. I don't recommend it. I give it 0 stars. All right. So yeah, that was one of the rules that the girls broke. And you know, honestly, like, I'm not really promoting this book, but you know, you know, give it a read. Give it a read if you haven't, or if you read it a long time ago, read it again, because I feel like, you know, it's basic rules, and those rules help you set boundaries when it comes to dating, so that you're not taken advantage of. Okay, so you know, and the guy is patient. You know, the guy, even if she had said, "Oh, I can't make it, and let's reschedule," he probably would have waited, because you know that the other girl wanted to be his friends, and he still stayed in touch with her, which was, you know, very interesting. So the guy was really good with his scamming. You know, it was executed beautifully. Like, y'all, when I said, like, that show was riveting. Like, this guy really thought this through. He was really good. He knew exactly who to target, etc. But you know, before I go, I'm gonna share with you ladies how you can avoid getting scammed. But yeah, there's that. But anyways, it was just too much. But anyways, it was like, you know, he knew what he was doing, and he started off from a very young age. So those women didn't know what hit them. You know, so there's a lot to learn from that Tinder Swindler story. There is so much to there's so many lessons in there, and you know, we discussed it on the Patreon. But you know, I want to leave you ladies with some advice on how to avoid getting scammed. First things first, ladies, and this is my rule, and this is anybody with any kind of common sense would tell you: never give a man money. Rule number 1: never give a man money. Especially if that man is not your husband. That's your husband. You guys probably share an account or whatever. It is what it is. A lot of married couples have joint accounts. But never ever give a man that you're dating money. Don't ever give a man money. If a man ever asks you for money, I would end it right there. Don't ever do it. Rule number 1: don't ever give a man money. Don't do it. Because if these women were taught this, they would not have gotten scammed. Okay? And not only did they give him money, they kept plunging themselves into debt. And I'm like, wow, this is insane. And the guy is very very forward and everything like that. He's not ashamed to ask. So what I learned from this guy is that do not be afraid to ask for what you want, because there's going to be someone that is going to give it to you. You guys, I think I did a video on here maybe about 2 years ago. I talked about that in the video. Honestly, I can't remember the name of the video, but I remember, just don't be afraid of the word no. If you want something, ask for it. Do not be afraid to ask for it, because this guy was not afraid to ask for what he wanted. He was very demanding with it. He was telling these girls, take another loan, take another loan. Listen, people are going to say no to you, but eventually you're going to get a yes, all right? And he knows this. He knows it. And that's how he was able to learn over the years from scamming. He knew exactly who to target. I also noticed that he was targeting Scandinavian women. No offense to any Scandinavian women that is listening, but Scandinavian women are known for being independent, and they like to go Dutch. They would go half and half. They would pay bills with guys and stuff like that. That's part of their culture, I don't like it, but it is what it is. But yeah, there was that. And then yeah, the women were in their 30s, so they were pretty much settled in their career and everything. But anyways, rule number 1, never give a man money. Number 2, never accept last minute dates, and this is in the book as well. The rule about never giving man money, that's my rule. Also, another thing that you should not do is go from date to date to date on the same date. Basically, like, okay, after she had met him up for coffee, she should have, ended the date there and said, well, this was nice, I'll see you soon. But he invited her on his private jet and she went. And I was thinking, why would you do that? You do not know this guy. Like, if I was watching this playing out and I didn't know what was the plot, because obviously, this happened in real life, obviously, but if I didn't already know that they got scammed and I was seeing this playing out in a movie, or maybe one of my friends decided to just get on some random guy's private jet, I would be very concerned, and I would be thinking, well, guess what? You're going to get trafficked and they're going to sell your kidneys on the black market. That's what I would be thinking if someone invites me on their private jet and they just met me. And not only did she go on the private jet with him, he was there with his baby mama. So I'm thinking, why don't you just end the date? Like, anyways, don't go from date to date to date, because some guys, they would do that, and it's also a form of love bombing. So just be very, very careful, because that's not normal. A normal date, it shouldn't even be more than 2 hours. Like, make it an hour minimum. Like, don't spend a bunch of hours with a guy on a first date. That is not normal and that is not healthy. Okay, end the date short and go home. Go home. Thank him for the date. Say you had a great time, and just go home. So if these women had observed these 3 rules, maybe, and they saw those red flags, maybe they wouldn't have gotten scammed. I felt like if these ladies observed these scams, especially rule number 1, never give a man money, they wouldn't have gotten scammed out of their money. All right? If a guy's asking you for money, that's a red flag. If a guy's taking you on date to date to date, that's another red flag. If he's asking you out on a coffee date, that's a red flag. If he is asking you out on a date last minute, that means that he doesn't value your time. So, don't do it. Make sure you have these boundaries and these standards. Okay? And one last thing I wanted to close with and leave you ladies with: get used to luxury. All right? And when I say luxury, get used to taking yourself to nice places. All right? Get used to going on vacation. Okay? I don't care if you have to go on a luxury vacation once a year. I don't care how long you have to save up for it, but you should take yourself on a vacation somewhere nice, somewhere luxurious, at least once a year. Okay? Take yourself to luxurious restaurants. Just get used to luxury. Okay? And go to the luxury stores. Start following luxury pages on Instagram. Just get used to be treated well. Treat yourself well, so that when you're dating, you are already used to that type of treatment. So you're not going to be oh my God, you're not gonna feel like you're getting swept away and feel like you're in a fairy tale or something like that, because that's kind of basic, The first girl ended up being $250,000 in debt. Not in debt, in debt. $250,000 in debt. And I'm thinking, you know what you could have done for yourself with $250,000? You are $250,000 in debt, and you have nothing to show for it. That's really, really bad. Like, I really hope that she does some self-reflection and some inner work, and try to figure out why she attracted that situation to herself. It's really, really unfortunate. But I mean, $250,000 and you have nothing to show for it. Not a boob job, no surgery, not a house, not a mortgage. Like, girl, you could have gotten a mortgage with that type of money. Like, you could have done so much for yourself with $250,000. Your $250,000 went up in smokes because this guy is out here living his best life. He's living his best life at your expense. So, you can tell that, these women lack self-love. Because, if you love yourself, you wouldn't allow something like that to happen to you. Because like I said, I think I said this last year, you got to ask yourself these questions before you make a decision, before you do anything, before you go on that date. Just ask yourself this question: would someone who loved themselves do this? Would someone who loved themselves, would they allow this? Ask yourself these questions, and once you get the answer, you will get the answer, because the answer will come from the right place. All right, the answer will definitely come. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like I feel like it's so sad. I just think that it was so sad that this happened to them. Again, I talked about this on the Patreon. I basically talked about why people hate the victims and love the villains, because there are some people that think the guy is a hero. The guy only spent 5 months in prison. He was never charged for what he did to the girls. And technically he didn't do anything wrong. Okay, what I meant to say is he didn't do anything illegal. What he did was wrong, but it wasn't illegal, technically. Those girls willingly gave him their money. But yeah, start treating yourself well. Start spending money on yourself. Take care of yourself. Spoil yourself. So that when you are dating again, you are not easily impressed by a coffee date at the Ritz. Okay? You can go to the Ritz and order yourself a coffee. You don't need a guy to take you there. Okay, ladies? So anyways, that's all I wanted to say today. More videos will be coming soon. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I go live on there sometimes. Make sure you come and enjoy my Patreon. That's for the more advanced stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all in another video. Bye.